Talk to me about some modelling that your team's done, because I think this is really interesting. It centres around the Hunter electorate and the Liddell power plant in that electorate and a transition across into nuclear. But I want to make the point before I throw to you, of course, the electorate of Hunter, it's very, very tight at the moment. It's incredibly tight, held by Labor, but I think they're in real trouble. Tell me, how did you land on an economic benefit figure for the move from coal to nuclear? And what is it?
Well, we actually came to this a little while ago because there was so much discussion about what a coal to nuclear transition would look like in Australia. And no one had actually done the hard numbers on the ground at that point as to what kind of jobs would be brought about, how many jobs are transferable. And we commissioned this independent firm, Hatch, to take a look at it for us. And the numbers were massive. So $29 billion in benefit for the community in the Hunter and broader regional New South Wales. You're looking at about 13,000 jobs during construction, another 2,500 jobs year in, year out for the full life cycle of the plant, another 640 million for the regions. This is all in addition to the cheap, reliable, baseload, dispatchable power that could power these communities for the next 60, 80, 100 years. And really important that we actually start to give these communities the truth about what this could mean for them, not just the scaremongering that the Teals and the Greens and Labor have been hosing them with.
Well, let's stay with the Teals. James McGrath, you know, you could have a campaign that's a bit like a really shocking game of footy or bad game of tennis when, you know, every time you hit the net, it falls back the wrong way. When you put your toe on the line, the ball's called out. You know, nothing's going your way. I think that's what Monique Ryan would be feeling at the moment. Out on the hustings with her today at pre-poll was Laura Jays. She asked her for an interview and got this extraordinary response. Have a look.
Just want to know how your campaign's going this morning.
It's going well, thanks, Laura. Yep. But I am here to engage with voters. We're at pre-poll. It's the middle of the election campaign. So I'm not sure that it's really ideal for you to be interrupting that process.
Have you had any other thoughts about whether it's okay to pay influencers?
Thanks, Laura.
I call her the campaign Karen, but I mean, she's campaigning on transparency. Taxpayers are paying her wage, but she won't talk to us.
Monique is a hypocrite. The Teals are hypocrites. The Teals like to tell us what to do, but they don't live by their own standards. You just look at her. She talks about transparency all the time, but can't answer basic questions. I mean, she wasn't asked a question then about how to solve the war in the Middle East, or she wasn't asked how to split the atom. She was asked a pretty simple question that she couldn't answer a week ago. She's got a husband who's quite happily skipping around the electorate, pilfering signs off the Liberal Party. She's got a campaign who are running a very dirty campaign against the Liberal Party candidate in that seat, Amelia Hamer. But Monique, of course, is this deity who's above it all. She is a hypocrite. She has spent the last 3 years in Parliament attacking the Liberal Party, not attacking the Labor Party. A vote for her is a vote for Anthony Albanese to stay as Prime Minister, and more muscle to Peta and to Laura and anyone who wants to put questions to her, because she just can't answer them.
Well, let's stay with hypocrites. We'll go to the Greens on this one. They've accepted a donation of $500,000 from a professional gambler to fund their federal campaign. This is at the same time, Gerard, as they want to crack down on gambling advertising.
It couldn't get more crooked. I mean, people have this perception, I think, of the Greens as they were in the 90s, as these kind of tree-hugging, protect the forests. That couldn't be more different from the Greens that we have today. Of course, they're very happy to tear down forest and prime agricultural land for renewable installations. They're very happy to take money from big private donors and gamblers in order to sort of play these hypocritic games out in the national stage. And I think this getting exposed is really going to start to open voters' eyes that these aren't the Greens that you thought you were voting for, and you cannot possibly preference them above anyone else in this coming election.